Undecided Option, Part 1. Null Cage. My sense of self floated up in my consciousness like a bubble from the depths of the sea. Within an endless world of darkness, I opened my eyes. I seemed to be lying down. Using my arms, I sat upright. Then I carefully stood. Where is this? But more importantly, who am I? My memory was gone. I couldn't even remember my name. And, of course, I didn't know why I was here. My body was bare. There was no clue to answer who or what I was. I tried to take a step. When I touched the ground, I was aware of the chill and hardness under my foot. But I continued. Onward. Onward. Slowly, one step at a time. I did not walk because I desired it. Rather, it was all I could do. How far have I walked? In front of me, a hazy white shape appeared. The shape walked straight towards me. Why, in this lightless void, could it see me? Our footsteps were synced. Perhaps it was a mirror. That would make sense. On coming closer, the shape grew sharper and more defined. Long white hair that fell over the brow. An elegant nose. Fox-like eyes. Delicate lips. It was a boy, veiled in a mysterious aura. So this is where you were. When did you awake? The boy suddenly spoke. I thought it was me in a mirror, but it's a boy different from me. The mysterious boy took my hand like in a clumsy handshake. And you are? I asked cautiously. At this, the boy slumped and gave a strained smile. You really forgot it all. I forgot? Do we know each other? New questions sprang to mind, one after another. Before I could ask another question, the white-haired boy grinned at me and slapped me on the shoulders. Okay, first, let's get your memory back. I had no reason to refuse if he would help me restore my memory. I'm just lucky to meet someone kind in this dark place. Because if we don't get your memory back, you'll disappear. Disappear? Why? How? I didn't understand. The boy looked at me in amusement, then at the space around us. Ahaha. Well, this is no place to stand around and talk. The boy turned and snapped his fingers at the darkness. Light. The suddenly bright world dazzled my eyes and I raised my arms to shield them. The dark void suddenly filled with light at the sound of the boy's fingers, as if it were a signal. It's all right. Take a look around. Obeying the boy, I slowly opened my eyes. It was the light of the sun. I dropped my arms from my face. I slowly grew used to the light, and we were standing in a place I did not know. It was a vast garden filled with blooming flowers. We stood atop a brick pathway. I was wearing white clothing, but I was not familiar with this style. Looking at the boy, I saw he was wearing the same clothes. It was clothing that seemed like many layers of semi-translucent wings. On either side of us, flowers bloomed as if in competition with each other. Rose, lily, gabira, dahlia, daisy, fleabane, anemone, chrysanthemum, marguerite, jackass clover. The boy pointed out each and named them. The flowers all stood the same height. Cool water flowed from a fountain. Wind caressed my cheek under a cloudless sky. Compared to the empty void, this world was a dream. Is this magic? The boy laughed at my naive outburst. Well, you could call the power I gained through the contract magic. At that response, I only had more questions. Let's walk. The boy began to walk along the path, and I walked by him. I took in the garden. The flowers evenly laid out. Not even a single one wilted or imperfect. Everywhere I looked, it was like a painting. I was filled with nostalgia, and yet this world was totally unknown to me. In what kind of place did I live before I lost my memory? Can you see it? Over there. The boy uttered this as he pointed at the flower bed. Following the boy's finger, I saw buried in the soil something metal unlike anything in the garden. It was a disc as large as a man's encircled arms. The dish-like disc was supported by a column. I call them antennas, the boy said. The rusted antenna was entangled with plant life. I noticed there were many such structures here and there. Some were overrun with vines and leaves, some were nearly buried under the soil. The inorganic beetle-like bodies squatted among the plant life. That was the eerie impression they gave me. Pick any that you like. Touch it. The boy looked me straight in the eye. That is how you will regain your memory. What in the world? But I knew any more questioning would be futile. Nothing would make sense in this world. Touching a greenery-covered antenna wouldn't be easy. I crouched in front of the flower bed. The stifling scent of the soil filled my nose. A rusted antenna lay half-exposed among the dirt. I reached my hand, half in doubt, through the growth. This is how I will regain my memory? The moment I touched the metal, light shone from the antenna. No, it wasn't light. It was a flow of words. As if it were shearing my body from my thoughts, the words cut into my being. Safe journeys, and luck on finding your memory. My memory. I entered a world of words.